Let's get on then to our team selection as we begin to wrap things up. Then Alisson Becker in goal. I'll call that one. Doyley, you can lead us on the defence.
Well, you can kind of base the team selection largely on who stayed. I nearly said Melwood then. They can stay at Melwood, but they're not going to get knocking on people's houses. At Kirby, yeah. So I think I'll be going Trent, the former England international. I know we've done podcasts since then, but really, it's like as if England haven't got enough world-class players. They can just go, you know what? We don't need one of our very few world-class players. It's well, I mean, you could argue they won the 3 games, didn't they, against me?
Mighty San Marino, yeah.
Well, San Marino can be difficult in those first.
I saw myself playing out there, to be fair.
England had trouble with San Marino in the past. Yeah. What was the question? Oh, yeah. Alexander Arnold at right back, Phillips and Kabak at centre back, and I'm going with Tsimikas at left back.
Right. Okay. What do you make of that, Lynchy?
Yeah, interesting. Is he definitely? Yeah, he's definitely fit.
He made some sub appearances for Greece in the World Cup qualifiers. He certainly made one. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, he got subbed off though, didn't he? Did he have cramp or something? I think.
At least it means Scotland's best left back will still be on the pitch, eh?
No, let's not start that. I think he'll. Tsimikas really struggling to get a look in at the moment, so I think he will go with Robertson. To be honest, I think if nothing else, but to prove Guy wrong and hope for a strong Robertson performance at left back, then I think I'll go for Robertson there, and then obviously the rest of the back four, I would agree with Doyley.
Yeah, with no Theo Squires on the pod, I thought I'd come out with a ridiculous shout so I can get the fan mail sent.
That's terrible. You can't say that. He's not here to defend himself.
Yeah, he will be soon enough, and he'll be back with some big calls. Anyway, Lynchy, what about the midfield?
Sorry.
I said Lynchy. That's my name.
I didn't hear. I was too busy laughing at the Theo comment.
In midfield, I think. Yeah, what we were talking about with Fabinho, I think he's going to struggle to pull him out of that midfield. And I think obviously he's not been on international duty this week, so should be able to do the 2 games back to back, no problem. So I think Wijnaldum's another one. Seems to start every game, doesn't he? So can't see beyond him. And then I think Thiago as well. I think he wants to maybe get that unit together and play as much football together as possible to give him some rhythm going into the game against Real Madrid. He might look to maybe make some substitutions early with one eye on that game, but I think he'll want another start maybe for that unit just to give him a test against a strong Arsenal side, and hopefully that can sort of tee them up to play well against Real Madrid.
Thiago v Granit Xhaka, that'll be an exhibition of tackling, won't it? But we'll have to see how that one plays out. Doyley, what about the forward line then?
Oh, well, hang on. What about the midfield?
Okay, what about your midfield then? Okay,
my midfield.
Here we go. Wacky midfield. Let's go.
Oh yeah, that wacky midfield with wait until you hear these names of these players who've played hundreds of games in their careers. Yeah. Steve McMahon. Right, Fabinho. Yeah. Because, as I say, all the players, almost all of the players who stayed at who stayed at Kirby, then they'll be involved. Which means I'm going to go with James Milner and Naby Keita in midfield. Right, okay. I think Keita probably deserves a start, and I think Milner has been not underused, but he's ripe for playing a game, and he does quite like playing at the Emirates actually.
Yeah, I was going to suggest whether
shout on Keita. Just because, like I said, Wijnaldum's played so much football, it's almost ludicrous, isn't it? So Keita dropping in is a really good shout, actually.
Yeah, I was going to suggest whether Keita might play in the Bernabeu, but I suppose we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Doyley, come back to you then. You can tell us what the forward 3 is going to be.
Now, it's Firmino's definitely going to play up front. That's what I think, anyway. Down the middle. I think Jota will play on the left. Now it's who will play on the right. It's either going to be Salah or Mane, and I think you'll have to play Salah. So Salah on the right, Jota on the left, and Firmino down the middle.
Right, okay. Well, Firmino's got a great record against Arsenal, hasn't he? I thought you were going to pick Mane, then cutting him from the right at the Emirates and smashing one into the top
5 years
corner.
ago now. 5 years ago now. Stop living on past glories. As an Arsenal fan, you'd be used to
All right. Yeah, exactly. Lynchy, what about your forward
Says the
three?
Liverpool report. Just the 30 years in between winning the leagues.
We're halfway there.
It's a tough one, isn't it, up front? Because I think, will he want to capitalise on the fact that Jota's in form, but then with, in that same breath, will he want to sort of save him for Real Madrid? I think it's a really, really tough one. I think maybe he'll go with Jota, Mane, Salah, just thinking that Firmino is so integral as a big game player in his mind. And I think Real Madrid, just with the wanting to keep their centre halves occupied and busy and keep them honest, he'll maybe want to start Firmino in that one. So I think maybe the other front three maybe starts this one, and then he's got a really tough decision about who keeps the place alongside Firmino against Real Madrid. It's a difficult one that I'm glad I don't have to pick the team.
No, David, I'll come back to you then for match prediction. What's the score going to be?
I'm going to say, I think it's going to be. I think Arsenal are going to make it difficult for them. But I'm going to say 1-1.
1 apiece. Right, Doyley, yourself?
I mean, it's a long way to Arsenal from my house, is what I'm thinking right now. So
that's the spirit.
Well, I was there. Right. I agree. Arsenal will make it very difficult. I think it all depends on how Arsenal approach the game. I know you've mentioned it before. And I think they might go defensive again, But the only thing on top of that is because Arsenal are kind of certainly out of the running for the top 4 after the game against West Ham. And they're still in Europe, and they've got a game. It's not till Thursday, is it? Slavia Prague, yeah. I've got a feeling they might actually, just as Guy said, who knows a bit or two about Arsenal. I think they might go for it, and I think that might help Liverpool. So I'm going to go for 2-1 to Liverpool.
Right. Okay. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. We will be back with the Blood Red podcast on Monday. If you want to know my prediction, you'll have to tune into the Behind Enemy Lines podcast that's coming on the Blood Red feed on Saturday.
Are you interviewing yourself?
I'm not interviewing myself. No. Kai has stepped into the reach, and I've given the lowdown on Arsenal. So if you're joining us on YouTube, head over to our podcast feed, the Blood Red podcast feed, wherever it is you get your audio on demand, and give that a listen. That'll be with you from Saturday morning. But from us here on the Blood Red podcast, that's all we've got time for now. My thanks to David Lynch and to Ian Doyle, and to you for joining us. Thank you.